Hey Guardians, welcome back. Dr. Slev here. We're going to talk about another pulse rifle this week, and this might be the best legendary pulse rifle introduced into Destiny 2 since the iconic Pulse Blast Furnace was sunsetted way back in late 2020. Yes, I am talking about the Insidious. The Insidious is acquired from the Vow of the Disciple raid introduced with Witch Queen, and it is an energy arc pulse. The best thing about this pulse is that it's a 450 RPM aggressive frame, meaning a 4 burst pulse. Now, we haven't had a new one of these introduced to Destiny in roughly 2 years. So that alone should give you a hint about how strong this gun could be. While it doesn't quite reach the same range that the Blast Furnace could achieve, it comes very close in most of the other stats and has a very, very good weapon perk selection pool. And then the final cherry on top for this rifle is that it's craftable. If you acquire and attune, I believe, 5 of these, it gives you the ability to craft them at the Enclave. That is huge. This is definitely a pulse rifle worth grinding for if you enjoy using them in PvP, and with the new Witch Queen updates to basic mobs, makes it pretty good in PvE as well. Let's hop over to d2gunsmith.com and check out potential roles that you're going to want to look for or build with the Insidious. So here we are looking at the base stats here. The recoil direction is what I want to pay attention to first. It has a 78 recoil score, which means the direction of the recoil is going to go up and slightly to the right. Now, this is an aggressive frame 450 RPM pulse that shoots a 4-shot burst. You are going to want to try and capitalize on recoil direction correcting with something like Arrowhead Break. That brings us to a perfect 100 recoil direction straight up. Vertical recoil should make handling this weapon significantly easier to land lots of follow-up shots. There are a couple other barrels that you could run, such as full bore for max range or extended barrel for a little more range and good recoil control, but you do lose handling on this, so not an incredible PvP barrel. Definitely going to want to stick with Arrowhead Break on this if you can. So column 2, you have your basic pulse mags here. PvP, you're going to want to go with accurized. End of discussion. Third column for PvP, there's really only one you're going to want to use. It's Rapid Hit. Everything else in here is okay. Rapid Hit is going to dominate this column. Then on to column 4 for PvP, there's really only one you're going to want to run. Rampage is going to be my recommendation. Some people could make an argument for Adrenaline Junkie or possibly even Vorpal, but here's why I pick Rampage over Adrenaline Junkie. So what Rampage does is if you get a kill, you get increased weapon damage. For 1 kill with Rampage, you get 3.5 seconds of increased damage at 10% boost on damage. Now Adrenaline Junkie, while it does last a little longer at 4.5 seconds after a kill, you only get a 6.6% damage boost. You also do get about 20 handling boost as well. So it is kind of nice to have the increased handling. But a pulse with this range, you're not going to be running around and sliding and getting into CQC very much, or you shouldn't be at least. So Rampage definitely has my pick. Adrenaline Junkie coming in second. Now for masterwork, just like most pulses or most weapons for PvP, you're going to want a range or a handling masterwork. Throw on a range masterwork, crank that up, and you get a 40.83 millimeter damage fall off. That is amazing and actually beats out a max range build Peace of Mind pulse rifle, which we went over last week, by a couple meters. So with an Insidious built this way for PvP, not only are you going to be out shooting the Peace of Mind, which is an absolute laser beam of a pulse rifle, you're going to be doing more damage per shot as well, with a 35 impact versus the Peace of Mind's 23 impact. Now, it's not to say the Peace of Mind is not a good pulse rifle, definitely still worth acquiring and crafting if you can. The Insidious just hits on a whole nother level. If you aren't looking for the range masterwork, then handling is your best bet for PvP. The range drop off between a range masterwork and a handling masterwork is only about 1.5 meters. So that's about 1.5 steps in game. Nothing too crazy. You're not losing a lot of viability there for holding down lanes. Just something to consider. So that takes care of the PvP. Let's go into the PvE build for this. As with most pulse rifles, you're still going to want to stick with Arrowhead Break. Get that perfect 100 recoil direction. That's very, very hard to recommend anything other than Arrowhead Break, especially for this weapon. We are going to change from second column though. We're probably going to throw on a tactical mag here. It gives you a nice magazine increase, nice reload speed increase, and a little bit more stability. You don't need the incredible range of accurized rounds in PvE content, so you're not missing out by dropping down to a tactical mag. If you can't get the tactical mag or you don't want to craft the tactical mag, flared magwell is going to be a good secondary option, as well as a pended mag coming in as an honorable mention. Over to the third column here for your traits for PvE. You're going to be wanting to look at Dragonfly is probably going to be my top pick, followed by Demolitionist or Rapid Hit. What Dragonfly does, precision kills create an elemental damage explosion. We love to see things explode. Demolition is always a solid choice, going to increase your grenade regeneration on kills. Never a bad thing to have more grenades in PvE. Rapid hit, same reasons you take it in PvP is why you would take it in PvE. Increased stability, increased reload speed. Never a bad choice on a pulse. So let's hop over to the fourth column here and see what we should be choosing for PvE. Now, your number one pick for this has got to be One for All. A 35% bonus after hitting 3 separate targets within 3 seconds is incredible. It lasts for 10 seconds, 35% flat damage buff. That's amazing. This right here is your god roll PvE Insidious. If you don't want One for All, you can't get One for All and you can't craft the weapon. Vorpal is a good secondary. Never hurts to have increased boss damage or damage against vehicles, which also include those shriekers that sit up in the sky and laser beam you. If you don't want to go Vorpal or you're looking for another role, adaptive munition's actually not terrible to have on this. And that being said, neither is Adrenaline Junkie or Rampage. So on the fourth column here, you really do have a lot of wiggle room with which perks you want to use. Just keep in mind, One for All is pretty much the end all be all god roll of this gun. Vorpal coming in second. Play around with it if you want. If you're building and crafting this weapon for either PvE or PvP, use the unenhanced perks. Those are cheap to replace. Play around with it. Figure out what you really like before you spend the alloys on upgrading the enhanced perks. And as for masterwork for PvE content here, you're always going to want reload speed. Never hurts to be able to put more bullets through the gun faster. All right, guys, that's my Insidious review here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what role you're looking for. If you agree with mine, if you disagree, what you would change. Or even if you think there's a better pulse rifle out there that needs to be looked at. If you want to chat with me directly, you can always catch me live on Twitch every Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday at twitch.tv/Dr. Slev. I hope to see you guys there sometime. Thanks again for watching, guys. Be good to yourselves, and I'll see you next time.